Today I'll show you how to play against the isolated pawn with a little Fianchetto here on the king side. So after knight f3, knight f6, g3, bishop to g2, we castle, he plays knight to c6, basically wanting to play e5 here and grab the center with 3 pawns. Here we played d4, not allowing him to do that, and he played bishop to f5. And here c4 is our pretty normal move, you know, just putting pressure here, tension in the center, and usually it stays like this for a couple of moves because no one wants to break the tension. But here he played e6 and I just took on d5. The point is that I want to take on c5 and give him this isolated pawn, because I like playing against isolated pawns. So here we played knight to c3, he played a6, preventing bishop to g5, and we played a3. Now you might ask yourselves, why didn't I just take the pawn here and give him an isolated pawn? The point is that if we take here, he's just gonna take the pawn back in one move and developing at the same time. And if we play a3 here, like we did, and he plays bishop to d6, and only then we take on c5, we basically made him waste a move, because he has to move his bishop again. So the difference between the previous position when we took immediately on c5 and now is that we have a3 played, which is crucial. You know, we gained one move. So we can play b4 here, just attacking the bishop and preparing to play bishop to b2. So here he castled, we played rook to c1. We want to play this move because we want our rooks on the open files, of course. After a6 and knight a4, we basically want to jump to this juicy c5 square with the knight, from where we are attacking the pawn on b7. And this knight is just a great piece in the center, and we've also opened our bishop here, so this is also nice. We could also play something like knight to d4, exchanging some pieces even maybe, because this is what we want basically when we play against the isolated pawn. We want to exchange as many minor pieces as possible, so this pawn becomes our weakness, and we can just pile up on it with our rooks and our queens. And he doesn't have any counterplay with his pieces, which is basically what he wants when he has the isolated pawn. So here he played rook to c8, we played knight to c5. Like I said, we're attacking the pawn here on b7, and the best move here probably is to just capture this knight for black. And after we take it back, he plays rook to e8, we take the knight, removing the defender of the pawn, and after he takes it back, we just take the pawn. We're a pawn up, but black could hope to draw this game after some moves like this. And yeah, I mean, we're just a pawn up here, so it should be a pretty nice position for us. But yeah, he didn't do that. He just defended the pawn here on b7, which doesn't do anything basically. We can just take the pawn on b7. The point being that if he takes it back, we can just take this knight here on c6 that is no longer defended. So we're a pawn up here, and he also has the isolated pawn still, so our position is looking really great here. He played a5, trying to at least get a pawn back or something, because we can't take it. He just takes our bishop. Yeah, the point is that he wants to take here after we capture, just take this pawn back and, you know, try to draw this position probably. So here I played knight to d4, so he doesn't have time to take the pawn because his bishop is hanging. And the best move would just be bishop to d7, just attacking our rook on c6, and after we move it, he takes it on b4 and just wins the pawn back. But again, we're still better because we're playing against the isolated pawn, and it's going to be an endgame. We're going to trade some more pieces here, so it's looking pretty good for us. But yeah, he didn't play bishop to d7, he played bishop to e4, trying to exchange our bishop, which is also eyeing this pawn on d5. And you can also see the difference basically between a Fianchetto bishop against the isolated pawn, which is eyeing this pawn, attacking this pawn, which is an advantage for us, of course. But a disadvantage of our bishop here being on g2 is that it's usually on d3, and from here it could serve an important attacking role, because we can just play bishop to b1, queen to d3, create a battery, and just be really dangerous to the opponent's king. So that's a disadvantage of our bishop being here. And okay, here he played bishop d4 like we said, and we just played b5. Now this is just over because, I mean, we have a really strong passed pawn here, defended by the knight. We can also play a4 or something, and we're also a pawn up. So I could just end it here, but I'm going to show you a really nice tactic that happened a couple of moves later. So please stay for this one because it's a pretty nice one. Here he played a4, we took the pawn, he took the bishop, and played knight a4. We played knight f5, attacking the pawn on g7 and also the bishop on e7. So he played bishop to f6. We took it, and now pause the video and find the move. So the move is knight takes h6 check. And the point is that when he takes the knight back, the pawn is no longer defending the knight here. And the idea is that we can create a double attack on the knight and on the rook. We play queen to a6, of course, and he can't defend both. He played queen to b8 just to protect the rook, of course, and we just took the knight. And his king is now also in danger, so this is just going to end badly for him. He took the pawn, we took the pawn. He played rook to b2, and now after queen to f6, we're just going to deliver him checkmate. So this was just one example of Fianchetto position playing against the isolated pawn. Now I have many more, so if you would like to see them, please comment down below and we will go through them. And if you like this video, guys, please like it, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.